I appreciate you being here today,
Yes,
D.
thanks for having me.
We've spoke about it for a little while. The energy of this podcast, I think, resonates perfectly with you and your story. I mean, there are points in your life. The day I almost quit. I mean, you could.
Right.
I'm sure your life flashes certain points through your head. I'm going to let you decide where we start. It does not have to be chronologically.
I mean, where do you want to start?
I want to start wherever that line resonates with you. The day I almost wanted to quit. It could be
When Down with the King came out.
when Down with the King came.
That's when I was going to kill myself.
With Pete Rock and
I
CL
wasn't
Smooth.
going to quit. I was going to kill myself.
So let me ask you a question.
That's quitting.
That's a real statement. What was? You would think now that's the resurgence of
No, it was.
Run-DMC,
That's
right?
the beauty of it.
It's you're back.
We're back on stage, back on chart, back on radio, back on tour.
So what is this? What's fueling this sadness that you don't even want to be on this planet anymore?
Well, I remember we did the record. Now, Pete Rock, gotta always say this, but it's true. The same thing Run-DMC did for Aerosmith in '86 with Walk This Way, Pete Rock and CL Smooth did for Run-DMC in '93 with Down with the Kings. It's funny how life works.
Yeah. They
Down
brought
with
the
King
energy
brought
back.
us back. Now, we were loved. We were pioneers, the OGs.
No, but that was getting
popular. We wasn't even in it yet.
Yeah, I remember.
On
It was
that
getting
album,
airplay.
Yep. Oh, my God, the video. You see who showed up in the video?
Mm-hmm.
So here we are. We returned back to radio, back to MTV, back on the road and everything. I remember the day the video came out. Record came out phenomenal and everything. I just woke up and then I felt like there was no purpose. So I can't really explain it. And then I was like, okay, let me sit here and go through my life. I'm Darryl McDaniels from Hollis, Queens, New York. Byford's my mother. Byford's my father. Banner's my mother. Alfred's my brother.
We all
son
know,
of
we all
Byford,
know
brother of Al. Banner's my mother. Runs my pal. It's McDaniels, not McDonald's. These rhymes are Darryl's. Those burgers are Ronald's. I ran down my family tree. My mother, my father, my brother, and me. Okay, that's true of me. Run is my friend, and Jay, we make this record. We make the first single. It works. We make another single, it works. Then we get souped up, make the first hip-hop album. It goes gold and platinum, gets us on MTV. Then we do King of Rock. Then we do Walk This Way. Then we get the Adidas deal and all this stuff. And I got to the point. Now I'm back with, Pete Rock and CL Smooth. And, we was.
One question. How old are you when this record comes out, Down with the King, how old are you?
I'm 30, I think. Or 20. I'm
You're in your
30.
30s.
I'm 30.
Yeah, 30.
I'm 30.
All right, I just want to get an idea where you are.
I'm 30.
30.
I'm 30. And we're opening for Pac. We're opening for Big. Like, it's crazy. Opening for Naughty by Nature. You know what I'm saying? Tribe Called Quest. Yo, it was crazy. But then it's like, there was just this void in me, and it was very, very uncomfortable. Now, prior to that, Down with King's 1993. Prior to that, 1990, I get diagnosed with acute pancreatitis because I was drinking a case of 40 ounces a day, not just 1 or 2 40s. I was drinking a case a day. But that was the thing. So the video comes out and this void is, something's missing, I don't want to be here no more. And it was so painful to me, this void, that you don't want to live with it. But you got to understand, I don't know what to do about it. I'm not thinking about therapy. I'm not thinking about talking to somebody about. All I'm thinking about is not having this feeling. So now the suicidal thoughts.
Your addictions at that point are what? What's killing the pain for you at that point?
Oh, all English.
Oldie.
Alcohol,
Okay.
alcohol.
Yeah. I got
alcohol.
you. So you the 40 ounces are.
I love them, but when the high goes away, you still stuck.
Yeah. Got it.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know what to do. I'm living with that. So that about what, 93, 94, 95, 96.
Are you sharing this with anybody at the time? Are you telling anybody?
No, not at all. I'm holding it in.
Got it.
Just holding it in. Trying to function.
Mm-hmm.
The old English gives you a little courage, a little boost. But like I said, when the old English wears off, you're still stuck with the feeling. So you're on this merry-go-round. You know what I'm saying?
This feeling you had never had in your rap career before, leading up to.
No,
Yo, invincible.
that's why I just started down with the King. There was never a point in my rap career where anything was difficult. Because you got to understand, Run was the motive. Run was the force. Run is the guy in Crush Groove movie.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Russell. This, this and that. We're going to be big. I'm just I can write a rhyme. He saw I had you coming with me. I'm just going because I get to rhyme on the mic. Yeah. I'm not thinking fortune and fame. And
tell me what time to show up. I'll be there.
And it worked. And it's good. And I think for me, it was sincere because I didn't have a destination.
Right.
I could write my rhymes in the basement and say them in the mirror. I could say them in front of 40,000 people. So it was easy. So I never had the thing where I never had difficulty in the business of show business because I didn't have to think about it. I was really good at just doing me. So now I return to the thing that I dominated. And at this point, the universe has other plans for me. So like I said, I'm sitting there thinking I'm Darryl McDaniels, Hollis, Queens, New York, the king of rock who walked his way in his Adidas to tell the world how tricky life can be. I'm thinking that's all my identity. So now I get this feeling like there's something more, but I don't know what it is. Creates this void in me. The alcohol's not working out anymore. My wife is screaming at me, motherfucker, you had pancreatitis. What are you doing?
How was your voice at that point?
I was going to get to that. It was good, but you got to understand what manifests inside of you internally will manifest externally. So for me, going through these emotions, drinking alcohol, all the turmoil, my voice starts going. So it's good that you asked that. So once it got to that point, all of a sudden my voice is leaving. I go to one of Lenny Kravitz's doctors. Yeah, I've worked with Lenny. I go to one of Mariah Carey's doctors, the best in the business. They look at me and say, son, you have this thing called spasmodic dysphonia. So there's adductor and abductor. So meaning with spasmodic dysphonia, your vocal cords cramp up inwardly or outwardly. Son, we don't know how to tell you this. You have both. That's crazy. Like we've never seen this before. So then I go to this other throat doctor, but he looks at me and says, yeah, you have red vocal cord, this and that. But then he says this to me. And this came, it was like, yo, there's nothing physically wrong with you. I'm like, motherfucker, I can't talk. You have those symptoms, but there's nothing. And that was it. So now I get the diagnosis of spasmodic dysphonia. I got both. And now this other doctor, so now.
He's saying it's psychological.
Yes. But I didn't find that out until you go see somebody that deals with that. So in my brain is the thing that made me want to quit was I can't rhyme no more, so I don't have no purpose here on earth. So now I'm going to commit suicide. Like that. Me losing my voice was the validation that you're worthless. Mm-hmm. So imagine how that felt.
Yeah, you're the superhero at that point. Now your superpower is gone.
You're done. There's no purpose. Yeah. What the fuck you here for? You know what I'm saying? And Run, rightfully so. He was like, oh shit, he can't rhyme no more. I got to figure this out. I got 4 kids. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't. And around this time, we was looking. Well, after Jay passed, hold up. I'm depressed, I'm suicidal, then I'm alcoholic, I lose my voice. Then Jam Master Jay gets shot and killed. So imagine what I was going through emotionally, but I'm not even thinking about mental health or none of this. My thing is, I can't rhyme no more, so I shouldn't be here. Mm-hmm. So now I'm up to that point, I'm thinking something's wrong. There's got to be more to life than being just DMC of Run-DMC. During when the band with the King thing came out. So when I started those thoughts started taking my voice of who I thought I really was. So now I can't do the thing that I love doing. What's the purpose of me leaving? So now the suicidal thoughts that I had are validated. So I'm going to kill yourself. So then this happens. Before I kill myself, everybody knows Run-DMC, the videos, the records, the songs, all my run, Christmas time in Hollis, Queens, my Adidas, everything that I, son of Bible, all that stuff. But before I kill myself, I wanted the world to know Darryl, who made all the DMC stuff possible. So I wanted to write a book. And in the book, I wanted to go, yo, what's up, world? I'm DMC, 1/3 of the groundbreaking rap group Run-DMC. First to go, all my accomplishments. First to go gold, first to go platinum, first on the cover of Rolling Stone, first with the sneaker deals. Everything that hip-hop is doing, they say it's because of me running J. But I'm really just Darryl McDaniels, no different from anybody on the face of the earth. I was born May 31st, 1964, and I was like, oh, let me try that again. First go gold, first I was born Darryl McDaniels, no different from anybody else on the face of the earth. I was born May 31st, 1964, and then at this point I realized, oh, I know my birthday, but I don't know no details about my birthday. So just to make it more interesting for the reader, I called my mother up. Now, looking back, I should have been like, Mom, I'm suicidal. I'm alcoholic. I'm thinking of kill myself. I got this void in me.
Be careful what you lay on me right now.
Stigma. So the stigma thing is on me. I don't want to share it with her. Don't want to upset her life. I don't want to tell her. And I'm thinking I'm doing good by self-medicating. Anyway, Old English got me. Johnny Walker, Jim Beam, and Jack Daniels are my best friends. I'm thinking I'm good. But looking back, I should have told my mother, regardless if it would have rocked her, because maybe she would have started helping me then. But instead, I go, Mom, I'm writing a book, and just to make it more interesting for the reader, I just want to know 3 things. How much did I weigh? She told me. What hospital? She told me. What time? She told me. I love you, son. I love you too. Hung up the phone. So I'm sitting here at this point, alcoholic, suicidal, metaphysical, spiritual wreck who's thinking of killing himself that just happens to be DMC of Run-DMC, who can't rhyme no more. An hour goes by, my mother calls back with my father. Hey, son, hey, Dad, what's up? We have something else to tell you. So I'm thinking they're going to go, well, you was born in a hospital and it was a power outage and we gave birth to you by candlelight. No, they hit me with this. Now, you got to understand where I'm at this point. I'm an alcoholic, suicidal, metaphysical wreck who's planning his suicide. I just want to write the book because I want to leave you more than my video and my records. They hit me. We have something else to tell you. Okay, what is it? I get hit with this, Don. Well, you was a month old when we brought you home and you're adopted, but we love you. Bye, click. So I'm 35 years old. I find out at 35 that I'm adopted. Now imagine what that did to me. You mean I'm a boyfriend in bed? I know, and I was a straight A student, so I know what that word adoption means. So you mean everything was like, imagine how confused. Then all the whys come in. Why did my birth? Who's my birth mother? Why did my birth this and that? Why did my banner keep me? So now I'm really committing suicide because I'm now even bannering Byfords. So, at that point, I don't know what to do. I'm fucking lost. All right, I'm drinking. Like, it's crazy. My wife's screaming.
You were never a drug guy?
It's crazy. I did coke in the 80s. I mean, I talked about this.
But never that was not your.
No, I quit it. And when crack came along, I don't like the crack thing, so this and that. So, it was weed. And my go-to thing was the alcohol. So then I'm doing the alcohol 24 hours, 7 days a week. So what's that word when you psychoanalytically, I discovered a way to commit suicide without the gun and the poison. Oh, let me just drink that.
Mm-hmm.
Because my wife was saying, motherfucker, you have pancreatitis. So now my psyche goes, oh, you ain't got to shoot yourself in the head. You ain't got to drink the poison. Just go drink the Old English that you're not supposed to. The pancreatitis will kill you. But my rationale is, drunk echo, I'm drinking, honey, because I'm celebrating my newfound part of my identity. But the struggle was, when Down with the King came back out, it was the universe going, you have no idea who you even are. I'm thinking I'm just Darryl McDaniels from Hollis, Queens, New York. My Adidas walk this way, running J. The universe was to notice another part to you.
How much of that bravado was alcohol fueled throughout all of that? Did that confidence that we all heard when you gave us all these lyrics, the King of Rock, was that from this alter ego?
No,
but that was really how you...
That was right. That was my truth. The alcohol was the false sense of power.
Gotcha.
The alcohol came in kind of like after raising hell. Now, and you got to understand, in our communities, harmful, destructive behavior is celebrated. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're African American. Yeah. The guy who beats everybody up in the neighborhood is celebrated and feared. But nobody stops him and says, who's beating you?
Tony Soprano.
The guy that sleeps with everybody. The girl that sleeps with everybody. You know, in every case, look, in my neighborhood, Smith drunk 4 40s. Garfield drunk 5. I drunk 12. So celebrate.
You're the winner.
Yes.
You're the winner.
That's harmful. The more pussy you get, you know, all the harmful destruction. Nobody stop. And let's regulate it to a college scene or just a bunch of businessmen. Let's do these shots. You'll sit there and let somebody take 50 shots instead of stopping them at number 5 and just saying what's wrong, because there's something sparking that. So what happened to me going back away from the suicidal thing, like I said, I was just writing rhymes in my basement pretending to be Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel and Kaz, and I'm pretending to be. But when you pretend, pre means before. I was preparing myself for something I didn't know was coming. So I'm just writing all these rhymes for me. Run was really doing this at 15 years old. Run was a professional rapper at 15 years old. He's the son of Curtis Blow. So before Rappers Unite, Run was touring around the tri-state area doing what now people see Jay-Z and Eminem do. But to us, like Jay said when they asked Jay, did you ever think hip-hop was going to be this big? Jay said, you're damn right, because it was so big to me when I first heard it. So in Jay's little world, that was his world. So it's just, you know, the relevance of the size and the capacity. But I'm just doing it. We go gold, we go platinum, we go triple platinum, we get the Adidas deal, we get Do Walk This Way, change the world. So now people outside of me who has no reason to, people outside of me who don't have any understanding of how I accomplished this, different from Runs and different from Jay's. But now you're sitting in rooms where people are going like this. I'm on the radio, I'm touring, and I'm getting money. So now because of this huge success with Walk This Way, people, you know, the management, the record label, people around start saying this around you. You need to have a hit record. You need to be on the radio. You need to be on the charts. You need to tour, and you need to make money. So me thinking, oh, I can't let Run and Jay down. Not knowing, just keep doing what you're doing. I panic because I don't want to let nobody down. I'm thinking, oh, Jack Daniels beat me. Like,
what they're really saying is, we need you to, we need, my kids' college tuition is due, and we need you to keep.
Pay the label guy, I need to pay for my
I need you to keep doing what you're doing.
You know what I'm saying? So that was the alcohol thing. When I did go to rehab, so let me go back to the alcohol thing. So I'm drinking, everybody's saying stop drinking, this and that, this and that. I'm drinking 24 hours, 7 days a week. Thinking I like drinking, which I do.
Fully a functional alcoholic, though.
Yeah,
you're functioning.
Yeah,
you're going
never
through.
Miss shows.
Yeah, your life is going on, and you're showing up, and you're not missing in action.
And even to the point where I want to kill myself, but then I tell that Jay and Run down, let me drink so that when I go on a stage with my fucked up voice, I'm not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
Because they just sing with me, you know, doing ad-libs and stuff. So I'm using that alcohol, which I think is a power, as a cover. But that's the thing that slowly, the more I drink, the further I kill Darryl. But I'm thinking that psychologically, I'm thinking,
I need to drink.
Exactly. So it got to the point where I didn't want to live no more. And I'm drinking, and the drinking's actually killing me.
Let's circle back for one sec, because we hit it, and you get that news in a phone call from your parents, who you love at that. These are your.
I'm rhyme about them every time.
These are your parents. They're on your records.
Yes.
You get this news. They've obviously struggled with it your whole life because they never
the
told you.
The only reason they told me is because I'm asking
You're writing this book, right? So now you could either suppress that, like you have all this, or you're gonna now move forward.
Right.
Your mother has information that you can find. Your birth mother?
Yes. Well, no. They said that on the phone because what happened was when I hung up the phone after I asked the question, my mother, I know Mike for the matter. My father was sitting there reading the newspaper. My mother comes out. He's asking right now, and he's about to tell him. My father says we finally have to tell him.
Yeah, this is it.
And my brother, who's their biological, says, "D, don't you know, if you never would ask the question,
You would have never known.
Because my fellow adopted friends, they usually find out after the parents die, they're cleaning out the house and they find the papers and go, what's that? And then the other brother trying to snatch it from him. So for me, my whole existence was a secret or a lie because my mother and father loved me, but they were guilty and ashamed of my truth. So it's one of those things where don't reveal it to them because it's going to hurt them. But I found out at 35, I'm going to be hurt anyway, so it don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's take the cover off the car, man. Let's see what this is all about. Let's see what it's about.
And what's crazy, I grew up loving superheroes. And most superheroes are adopted or come from a fucked up traumatic situation. Superman didn't just lose his parents.
No, he lost his planet. Yeah.
Right. But what did they do at a good time when he was young? Clark, sit down. There's something we need to tell you. We love you in your hours, but you're from another planet and you're alien. You have special power. My mother and father was scared to do that because the reason why they didn't want to tell me, when they adopted me, I was a foster kid. They brought me home at 1 month old. So I was a foster kid until I was 5. What happened was I remember being little, and it's funny. I only think about until they reveal you're adopted and we brought you home, you was a month old and you was adopted. Until then, I only remembered the good stuff. But once they told me that your brain, as soon as they told me they hung up the phone, I'm sitting in the ocean. I remember always being little before I went to kindergarten. And I was always in rooms in big leather chairs full of books. So when I look back and I speak to my other foster kids that was the lawyer's office when he was playing. They would always tell me, go sit in here, Darryl, wait, we'll be right back. And I remember, you know how lawyers are with the chairs and the books everywhere? Because of this revelation, I remember. Then I started remembering a bunch of cousins that I remember being around for 1 or 2 days, but I never seen again. I remember this kid, Oscar. He lived with us for probably like maybe a month.
Another foster kid.
And I remember the morning when me and Alfred woke up. I think I was 4. And I remember Alfred, my brother Alfred, he was 3 years old, 7. So I remember, I'm going, Alfred, what's going on this morning? Oscar's mother's here to get him. So I'm thinking it was his mother, my aunt. They came, got Oscar. I never saw Oscar again. He was a foster kid that was able to go back. I remember they brought this little girl home one night, and she cried I'll never forget this night. I'm like 3 or 4, and they brought a girl home, and she cried all night, kept the whole house up. I probably fell asleep around 11:30. I woke up the next morning. She was gone. I never seen it again. So
that was gone from your memory.
Right there. I'm one of them. Imagine how, you know what I'm saying? But then you dealing with why they didn't tell me this and that. I'm glad they finally told me. So you're dealing with all of these emotions. So when I found that revelation out, you're adopted, how did I feel? Byford and Ben for my rep. So now the only thing I cared about was drinking. So it finally got to the point where I said, I don't want to die. It's got to be something to live for. And if there's anything to live for.
Was that with therapy or on your own?
Therapy didn't come yet.
That was on your own?
Yeah, from people telling me, that you're killing yourself.
Yeah.
But this is funny. The thing that really made me go to rehab and stop drinking when I look back and stuff, because I was very defiant. I'm celebrating, I'm using the old English as a false sense of power. But the thing that really, I'll never forget, it was New Year's. Well, wait, hold up. Let me go back a little bit. Before I got sober, I find that I'm adopted, and I'm going through this right now. Then the Jam Master Jay thing happens. That happened first. So really,
let me just ask: the dynamic of the group is you're all together, but I know how bands work. Sometimes it's like a marriage. A couple of guys are close, couple guys not close. Right. You and Jay were tight.
Yeah, we all were tight. We were
outside of the band, tight.
Yeah,
close friend.
Gets murdered
in his studio in Queens.
In Queens, yes.
Still unsolved. I think.
No, it's solved. They caught 2 of the guys.
Okay, good. Yes, was it anybody that they thought from the beginning?
It was people we grew up with.
Yeah.
It's always closest to you.
Nonsense.
Over nonsense.
Over
Right.
nonsense. Terrible.
So now Jay gets killed. So I'm already see why should I be this? That was another proof. You don't have a voice, and Jay's dead. So it got to the point. This is funny too. It got to the point. It's new after Jay's dead. It was 2000. Might have been two. Was it a year later? Jay died in 2002. So it might have been 2003 in Vegas at a party. DJ Hurricane got to get. D, come on out. I'll give you a couple of $1,000. Do a couple of records on New Year's Eve. So I remember sitting there with a fifth of what liquor was it? Not Jim Beam, not Jack Daniels. It was one of those other ones. But I'm sitting there with a fifth straight up, no ice, no chase.
Out of the bottle.
Right. Got to the point where I realized I can't get no fucking higher. And if I continue at this rate, you know, and it's funny, when I went to rehab, my therapist in rehab was like, do you have a lot of willpower? Because through all of this, Don, I'm still going to the gym. I'm drinking from 5 in the morning to 5 at night, and then still getting up and get my 2 hours in. And he said, right in there is your little place of strength. But it still wasn't relevant to me.
That's the point. When the alcohol stops getting you, they go to the next substance, and the next.
Right.
You didn't.
Right.
You didn't add the pills to the jack to the the next place.
There. I realized, because I never really liked smoking weed and all that stuff. So, you know, alcohol was my preferred vice or whatever. Then it just got to the point where, damn, I can't get no higher. But the saving grace was, and it's just like when I saw you today and you said that's your story, you realize everybody's going through it. What happened to me, the thing that saved me was, I'm an alcoholic, suicidal, metaphysical, spiritual wreck who just found out that he was adopted at age 35 and Jam Master Jay got shot and killed. So that's a lot of stuff. You can separate all of those. There's a person that's adopted, there's a foster kid, there's a person dealing with death and loss. I'm dealing with all of this all at once. The saving grace was, when you're going through something, 500 years ago, 50 years ago, 500 years from now, 50 years from now, when you are going through something, you in your alienated, lonely space thinks this. It's true, but it's not true. Because what I mean is true because we all think it. I'm the only, woe is me. I'm the only one that's adopted. I'm the only one that's alcoholic. I'm the only one that's in financial trouble. I'm the only one that got abused when I was little. The thing that saved me is during this time, Eric, my friend, and who managed Run-DMC, and when Jay passed away, he said, fuck it, let's keep it going in whatever way. So Eric and my publicist, Tracy Miller, their game was keep him busy, try to keep him working. So Eric takes me to LA to get a movie. You know, rappers are doing movies now. You know, I'm the type of guy, I don't want to do what all our rappers do. And if they're doing movies, I want to raise bunny rabbits. Like, that's just how. But since I'm in the summer, I'm just going along because I'm drunk and I don't give a fuck.
Get that check and go do it.
Get the check. Right, exactly. So I remember this. We're in LA and Eric's talking to the agent who's, you know, going to interview me for this part in the movie. So they're doing their regular things. So the agent finally turns to me. And he says, DMC. Now, you got to remember, people are going to love this. After Jay died, when Jay died, around Jay, Run started Run's House. 10 successful seasons of the show on TV. So I remember people always tell me this. When the first season of Run's House came, DMC wasn't on it. So you know how you wait for the finale? Everybody and their mother was like, at the end of the first season, DMC is going to show it's going to be a great reunion, you know, for the show. That didn't happen. They gave me the benefit of the doubt. Second season. So by the third season, everybody's, Rob did, Russell, they took, but you know, everything that you could possibly say about gossip.
Yeah, all the sexy, the sexy story.
Me and running together because Jay's gone, but nobody's seeing it. They think, this and that, you know, the whole Beatles thing of this and that. So I'm in this meeting, and the guy turns to me and says, D. And you got to remember, Kimura had Baby Fat and Russell Fat. They was rolling, but where is D? You know what I'm saying? You know, Down with the King came out, boom,
Yeah.
and everything just
The Def Jam
disappeared.
machine is rolling.
Yeah, it's right.
Rick Rubin is bigger
and
than
at
that.
this time, all people remember is, even though Run and Jay and them are the fucking old ass pioneers, you can't fuck with them because their show, they will. I want to say this: Pac and Biggie, at the beginning of the height, did not want to go on after Run-DMC. We opened for Pac. Pac was like, "Ain't no way I'm going on after Run-DMC, this and that." And not only because they want their audience to see what the real shit is, Pac and Biggie said, "Y'all got too many hits." So we had to tell me, Run and Jay had to tell, but yo, that's very flattering. But we had to remind them, those people here.
This is your show, man. Yeah, this is your show.
Right. You know what's going to happen when Peter Piper dropped. All that they know is Walk This Way, and it's tricky from what they see on TV. They don't know. So but that was very honorable.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
They were warmed up, though. That crowd was
100%.
that crowd was as warm as they could get.
Most of their fans was, my grandfather told me about this. Because they heard about it. They got to see what made Jay. Yo, I'm jamming. Always on the turn, so they got to see some real authentic that inspired their heroes. So now we're connected and we're understanding. So what I was saying, I was talking about, so after what was I was saying? After Jay died. And,
Run's house.
Oh, yeah.
Season 3.
Yeah, season 3.
Season 4.
By that time, but nobody knew what I was going through. So the guy turns to me and he says, D, I see Kimura, I see Russell, this and that. What's up with you? So I got to understand, from the Down with the King day, and I'm dealing with what's going on with me, those were beautiful questions because nobody had ever said that to me. You know, everybody was, keep it working, you know, and you got to understand, nobody knew what to do. I didn't even know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know I'm supposed to go tell somebody I'm struggling, go to counseling. I'm DMC, king of the world, and I didn't know there was places to go because I didn't have that info. Because growing up, all the harmful, destructive behaviors is cool. So I ain't gonna go tell nobody I got a problem. I'm thinking I'm cool because I drink 12, 40 ounces.
Right.
But that's not the truth. So he says that to me. He says, so what's up with you? And I didn't know this was the beginning of my therapy. I'm in my down. I'm not even caring. I'm in the room. I didn't care about the first class flight. I hate being there. So he says, what's up with you? So something in my brain says to me, he don't hear me yet. Motherfucker, you want to know what's up with me? Well, I just found out that I was adopted. I just let it all out on this guy. And when I finished, he was like, damn. But then he said this, I can't possibly understand. You know how comforting that was?
Yeah.
I can't possibly understand what you're going through. I have no idea, but maybe this can help. A week earlier, there was one of his clients, a casting director in L.A. named Sheila Jaffe, who knew she was adopted since she was 14, and this is beautiful. After they did their business, he was like, Sheila, you look so down. And Sheila was like, well, I've been trying to do a search for my birth parents and finding dead ends. So when I revealed that to him, he just put two and two together. I have a friend who maybe you should. So he set up a meeting with me and Sheila. When I sat down with Sheila, the thing that made all the self-harm thoughts go away was, like I said earlier, you think you're the only one. When I saw Sheila and another adopted person like me, I didn't feel alone anymore. Because it's one thing being DMC, but you don't understand. I just found out that I was adopted. When I found Sheila, and then my brain says, if it's me and Sheila, then there must be a whole community of us out there. So when you're going through something, no matter what it is, a whole community of people that have been through trauma. There's a whole community that's fucked up on meth and families. So that one person revelation made me realize I didn't feel alone no more. And that was the thing that said, you know what? I don't mind being adopted, but I hate being drunk and high and alcoholic. So it was a spark to make me go save myself.
Yeah. Thank God.
Then thinking, all right, if I never rhyme again, at least I can go out there and talk about what I've been through, because that's going to be just as powerful as you sitting there listening to Sucker MCs, and it makes you happy. So then I wasn't ashamed to say, D, what's up with you, y'all? You know, I'm going to rehab. I'm going to therapy, this and that. So the reason why I bring up the Run's House thing was...
Did you ever get on an episode?
No, I never
Never,
did.
10 seasons. Never once.
Because I was going to.
Yeah.
So what happened was, after the Sheila thing, I go to rehab. I get out of rehab, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna go to the mall. I'm gonna go back to the gym. And every time I would see people, I would get this. And this is funny. I gotta put this book out, but now I'm realizing I don't just gotta put Darryl McDaniels comic books and how Cold Crush and Grandmaster Cash saved my life. I'm gonna add in this book the struggle that I'm in. So the reason why I finally, after I got out of rehab, decided to write the book is I got out of rehab and people see me again, and their first question down was, and they're mad, motherfucker, why you ain't on Run's house? What you know? What's the no? It's no beef. This and that. And I tell people this: the reason why I'm on Run House is the same reason the Beatles ain't together. And I tell people, Run-DMC will get back and do albums and tour. You might see us at a show here and there. We did Rock the Bells. We did the 50th anniversary. But as a group, my joke is this, and everybody laugh. It could be metal, punk, hip hop, soul, R&B. It could be white people, black people, Asian people. It could be young people. It could be they love when I say this, and this sums it up. There's nothing wrong with me and Run, but Jay's gone. I said Run-DMC will get back together as that unity if the Beatles get back together. Everybody, can that happen? No, because you can't do it without George and John. So I get it. But you might go somewhere and see Paul and Ringo jamming, for Feed the World or something like that.
But most acts that get it back to Live Nation will write a check, and whoever the promoter, they'll get back together.
Yeah,
they will do it for. They will do it for.
Right, but even the check is good, but the band got to be one-on-one of.
Listen, we come from the same place. The T-shirts you wear are all my favorite.
Yeah.
You go see Foreigner now.
It's a new.
There's
singer.
not a guy. There's not
but
one.
I'm more on. I'm more so deep into wanting to be a rock star. Now, put it like this: I will get on stage with Run. I'm not going to say I'm a tour. You know what I'm saying? I'll go do a show with Run-DMC at the Spear. I'll do some stuff at the Spear.
I'll be there.
But I won't do it the same way that we did it with Jay.
I got it. Well, you can't.
You'll get those records, but you're right.
You can't do it.
Exactly. So my thing is, so when I said, you know what? What? The people saying, DMC, why you ain't on Run's house? No. I said, the reason why I'm on Run House, and this happened 100% of the time, two things would happen. I would go, I'm an alcoholic, suicidal, metaphysical, spiritual wreck who found out at age 35 that he was adopted. Jam Master Jay got shot and killed, and then Byford died. After the Jay thing, my father Byford died. So I would hit him with that, and they would go, and you would see all the celebrity thing run away. Two things would happen. Every time, if it was in 7-Eleven, if I was in Stop and Shop, if I was in the airport, if I was at the gym, if I was just walking down the street, hip-hop is about keeping it real. So I could have front and said, I'm working on that. I hit him with my truth. What's up with why you ain't on Run's house? While Run was doing this, here's where I was at, motherfucker. And they go, damn. But something is powerful about me not being ashamed to admit I'm fucked up, I'm weak, I'm failed, I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? 100% of the time, they would look around.
Yeah, me too.
Check for bugs and go, hold up. But this the word that kills me. These are the words that killed me. I've never told anybody this, me too. So I've never told anybody this means they're going to work every day and they're struggling with this and they're ashamed to say something because people are going to say they were. But this is the one that hurts worst. They look around and they would say, I've never told anybody this, my daughter, my mother. So what I'm trying to say is this is what's bad about stigma. Okay, it's fucked up. I won't tell you, Don. We've been working together. And you would tell me, D, if you ever need anything.
Yeah, call me.
I won't tell you. The worst thing is being ashamed about what you would think. I'm okay, but the worst thing that is worse is me being ashamed to tell you my daughter's home on meth. Because if I told D what's wrong, my fucking daughter's strung out on meth, you might help me. But I'm worried about how you're going to think about me, so I'm going to just let her rot and stay on meth. So I was rotting myself, but I found out me expressing that I'm fucked up and weak and not mighty, like the mighty king of rock that you think I am, that was more powerful than the rhymes that I said on Hit It Run.
But you know
so
what?
then it struck me, if I never rhyme again, I'm still doing the same thing that my music always done. What's that? Motivating and inspiring people.
Look at the
It's
example.
still worth something.
Look at the example though our parents set. You especially, mine, we keep that. You may have never found out.
Yeah.
We don't tell anybody. Our business is our business. We don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
So we didn't have a playbook to go by.
No,
and go,
right.
When I'm struggling,
Yeah.
I share it with my people.
Right.
We go, no, when I'm struggling.
You journaled,
Yeah,
because you've had to put it somewhere.
This was as an adult, though. Like this, I did.
No,
as an
me
adult.
too. But
I had to get rid of it.
Yes.
I had to. So listen,
you had
the
to
quick
get it out of
story.
you because it'll destroy you.
I'll give you a quick story. How
You're
we
100%
connect
right.
more and more as we talk
But
more.
hold it, before you say that, you're 100% right. My therapist, once I got in rehab, she said, D, your saving grace that was always there, and you fucked up by taking the old English Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, and Johnny Walker. They was just your friend. I said, what you was talking about? Even though I didn't know I was adopted, what was my thing that kept me, the outlet of me getting on the mic? Now think about it. When I came into hip hop, I was never in. I was a Catholic school kid who wore glasses, who read comic books. I was this geeky, nerdy kid that became the most powerful thing because it was me. I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "You demonstrated something that all the great philosophers, and especially Catholic and Christian religion, dictate without even knowing." And I went to Catholic school. I said, "What are you talking about?" Most of my dope rhymes start with, she said this to me, I am. When Run passed me, he was Run. He was like, if you listen to Suck MCs, it was Run's whole record. But Run saw something in me that said, I'm a passionate Mike, say your newest rhyme. My newest rhyme was about me going to St. John's University and chicken and collard greens. I didn't come on the mic say, yeah, look at my jewelry. I am DMC in the place to be. I go to St. Connected. But even the gangsters was like, yo, that kid right there. I am the king of rock. I am the son. Now, even though I'm adopted, that's my situation. It doesn't define who I am. Who are you? I'm the king of rock. There is none higher. Sucker MC should call me sire to burn my. You could take my money in my bank account, burn my house down, but I won't stop rocking till I decide.
That's the Old Testament. That's the Old Testament of hip hop.
So the things that most people would be ashamed to talk about, I was developing that technique early in my life. I never thought about that. Hit It Run, I am the devastating mic controller DMC, and can't nobody bust a rhyme like me. I'm the king of rock, rap, and of rhyme. Now, even if you don't believe that, that shit is true because I said it. Like people always say, I put this in this scenario. We all have everything necessary for us to succeed within us. I'm living, breathing proof of that because even without a voice, I still motivate, inspire, and educate while I entertain. Telling my fucked up story is so fucking, but it's told in a way that I've been preparing or pretending or practicing because the universe knew this point was coming for me. When I wanted to kill myself, it's a fucking superhero or it's Apollo and Zeus and Mercury, run down to the planet Earth and tell DMC who is. Shoot. Son, you're not just Darryl McDaniels, you're, oh my God. So my purpose, the DMC thing was just a setup for what I was supposed to do. If I didn't kill myself, I wouldn't be sitting here with you saying, you have one of those too? Yes, we all have them. And it's nothing to be ashamed of.
No.
So when people go, I've never told anybody this, me too. I've never told anybody this, me and daughter. I was like, wow, that's how we get rid of stigma. The only reason people told me they were fucked up is because the mighty DMC Adidas wearing motherfucker just admitted he was too.
You made it okay.
If I would have just said, oh yeah, because me and Run were fighting over royalties, they would have just walked away and there's still fucked upness. But by me saying that, they left me and went and did something about it. That's crazy. So what I was saying, I got my therapy from that first guy saying, I can't possibly understand how you're feeling. You a fucked up motherfucker, this and that, but I'm not ashamed of you. Like, I can't help you, but maybe this can. And I'm like, wow. So everybody, the thing that I'm trying to express here is, we brought Aerosmith back in 86. What happened to me in 93? P-Rock and C.R. Smith. So you were there. Me and Aerosmith didn't just make these records to change music. The Aerosmith situation was a preparation for something that was going to happen to me too. Think
Right.
about it.
So now it's in your toolbox.
Like when I met you graffiti and do all of that stuff, and then you just told me you was about to quit too, and you asked me,
yeah, man.
I have a motherfucker. Do I have a
Well,
quit thing
there's
too?
a story that ties into yours. When I was 5 years old, so I'm 5. You said you were 5, so now we're both 5. My father leaves the house and never comes back, not one day.
Look at that.
Not ever. Not a birthday, not Christmas, not one day. And he lived my entire
That's
adult life in Florida and never came one day. But you know, I wore it like, what did I do to deserve? What did I do?
Yep.
This motherfucker
Abandoned me. What was wrong?
But what I've realized from letting it out, talking to other people, my friends, like, let's think about little shit that you shook off. But school ended. I went on summer vacation, right?
Right.
My mother remarries. I come back the next school year with a different last name. So I got to tell they call my name out here, and my friends go,
what the hell is that?
What is it? Wait, what? Who the hell?
Look at that.
I got a different last name. My mom remarried, and my father, who raised me, not my biological, he adopted me, and he adopted me. I took his last name.
Right.
I come with a different last name. You think that's not affecting you as a 7-year-old, but it's fucking you.
It's part of your identity.
Yeah. So now,
identity. Who are you?
But all the years go by, right? And I've heard you say this thing in a couple of interviews, and I don't know if you mentioned it in your book or not. You said the feeling when you walked in the room finally, and there was another face that was your face, man. And you went, oh shit. You never saw the faces that looked exactly like your face when you saw your adopted family.
You knew that was the first
That's
time
my
you
family.
identified.
That's my family.
Right, a part of you.
So I'm an only child. It's just me and my mom.
Well,
that's
my son's only a child.
That's my blood. Me and my mom. So I never walked in a room and went like 5 brothers.
Right.
So
to get that stamp of okay.
As I got into my 40s, I said, you know what? I made peace with my father, my biological father. I said, I appreciate this dude, man. I said, you know what? What I've witnessed in friends with fathers, they come, they go, they come for Christmas, they don't come. And it's constant disappointment. This cat took his bag one time out, and he did. He said, I'm not equipped to raise this boy.
Problems, but you ain't thinking that when you're
He was an addict, and
right.
He left. And as an adult, I went, you know what? I appreciate that dude, man. I got a phone number for him in my 40s. And I said, I don't want nothing. I got no questions for this guy. I want to know, is there a room full of people? Did he have 7 more kids? Is my people sitting in a room around Thanksgiving? And I said, I need to find out if I have siblings, man.
That's it.
I make the phone call. The woman on the other end of the phone call, I explain who I am. She starts to cry on the phone. This turns out to be my aunt on the phone. And she says, I can't believe you're calling. And I said, listen, I'm glad you answered the phone. I do not need to speak to him. I just want to know, do I have a bunch of brothers and sisters down there in Florida?
Right.
You know, I would love to try and connect. And she said, your dad married 3 more times after your mom.
Oh, my goodness.
And never had another kid.
Wow.
And he died 6 months ago.
Wow, you just missed him.
So this one phone call it put everything in a box, tied it up, took the key.
It closed your chapter.
That was it.
Of your
I knew
book.
everything I needed to know, and I didn't have to have a conversation with this man. There was nothing he owed me.
No, right. But it was part of you.
Yeah,
Could,
okay.
You
Now
could not have that in your
I
story.
could take that, put that shit down, and keep moving, man. But it is part of my story, man. This is all part of. This is part of my journey, and it's made me the father I am with my kids because now I realize the father not around is not an option, man.
Right.
The father not in the room. You happen to get blessed. You got a father, and you had loving.
I had a father that kept me. Here's what's funny. My brother said when my other foster kids got taken back, my brother, he said, I'm in the room playing with my G.I. Joes.
Your brother's a full blood. He's both parents.
Biological. So, and this is going to be a scene in the play once I get there. They're looking at me play. Nobody's coming back to get me. My mother asked my father, what? And people, us adoptees, we talk about it like this. What are we going to do with this one? And, you know, rightfully so, because they don't know.
Yeah.
My father jokingly says, you know what? I think I'm adopting. I think we should adopt this one. Nobody's coming to get him. Maybe he'll grow up to change the world.
Yeah.
So he gave you a chance. When I met I did a search for my birth mother. Found my birth mother in Staten Island, Burton Senior. The first thing first when the door opened, I was like, oh shit, this is real. That's me. Like, my wife even said it was the first time she saw somebody that was exactly like me.
Did they live in New York? They're from here, New York?
They're from New York.
They live in
Staten
here.
Island. My birth mother started in Hamilton Heights in Harlem. So just like you said, all of the coincidences and the array of all that, so you was able to put that in your book. So the first thing my mother says to me my birth mother says to me when I see her is, I know you're dying to know why I gave you up. Shit, lady, that's an understatement. She just hit me with this. Gave you up to get you a chance. To give you a chance. I look at my situation like this. When I found my birth mother, on Thanksgiving of 04. Thanksgiving of 05, I had Thanksgiving dinner with my mother and my adopted mother. So imagine, they sitting there talking, and I'm just sitting there sweating, going, what the fuck is
Twilight
going on?
Zone.
But I look at it like this. It was your father's job to just get you here so your other father could get you where you were supposed to go. Point blank, to meet me. Because if what happened to me, we wouldn't be here right now.
No.
Buster and Eminem says, don't you know if what happened to you didn't happen? Hip-hop would have happened, but I was supposed to be that third member of, so all of these other things can happen, and vice versa. I had to happen, you had to happen the way you happened, so this day could happen. Think about it like that. I blow kids' minds when I go to elementary school. I say, when was you born? They go, I was born, 2000 or whatever. I said, I was born in 1964 and it was destined for you to meet this old school rapper. I said, your mother and father watched the videos, was at the garden, but they didn't get to meet me. And I'm here to tell you, you have a purpose and a destiny, regardless of what you go through. So what you do is the same too. Everything that you did as a graffiti artist is everything I did as a comic book guy and a writer. You think about that idea. Everything a baker does is the same thing a builder does. Everything the builder does is the same thing. You just create. We are gods. We have the power. Barry White said, yeah, we gods. We could take a life. I was like, wow. We can make a, wow. You can be given something. And I tell people this. You can build this building here is where we at recording right now. It could have been a shoe store. It could have been a Costco. It could have been a school. It could have been we can build it and name it with ourselves.
Yeah.
But for us, there was missing part of our identities that we didn't know. My whole thing is, hip hop, a struggle for identity. I'm the mighty king of rock who walks this way in his Adidas to tell the world how tricky life can be. But I'm also a foster kid who fortunately got adopted, who was an alcoholic. When I went to rehab, I was diagnosed with suppressed emotions. What's that? I was drinking to suppress my truth because I thought I was ashamed of it because I'm worried about the world being ashamed of it. And you know how I got diagnosed with suppressed emotions, Don? When I get into rehab, this is powerful too. My wife's telling me, motherfucker, and she said this, my wife's Zuri, you're drinking because you can't emotionally handle the fact that you just found out that you're adopted. Mic drop right there. But I ain't thinking, I'm celebrating my newfound. So when I get into rehab, they forced me to go to rehab. But when I forced me, I realized, let me go to rehab. They applauded me going to rehab.
Never before you went. You had never done treatment before?
Never. The only time I was in a precinct is when I got interviewed at Jay's death. I've never been in it. You know what I'm saying? None of that. So I went into rehab in March of 04. Yeah, I've been sober since 04. But in February,
congratulations.
Yeah, I went in no, was it March? No, I went in March 30th. So March 1st, you know what I did, Don? I completely stopped drinking. Because I was diagnosed with OCD, addictive behavior, suppressed emotion. So me knowing I'm going to, and that's when the therapist says, see, that's the willpower we all have, but you just found it, but you use it. I didn't want to drink up until the day I went into rehab. So I said, I'm going to stop now, and I was able to stop.
Yeah, that was your obsessive personality.
Yeah.
Just in reverse.
Not heroic, but it was just part of.
Just in reverse.
Just in reverse, yes.
Yeah.
So when I get into rehab, the day I go into the intake room, there's a guy next to me in a straitjacket, tied up, knocked out, and there was a guy next to me out. So the doctor was supposed to intake us in order. He was like, this guy's out here, you're awake, I'm gonna just start with you because I was out. He asked me, when was the last time you took a drink? And just like I'm doing to you, when was the last time you took a drink? And I was like, a month ago. He looks at me. Really? He said, why would you do that? I said, well, I knew it was coming. So he knows symptoms. He said, you ain't supposed to be in this room. You go into the next room. So I go into the next room. And the intake room was, what I liked about the place I went, it was called Sierra Tucson in Tucson, Arizona. You go to, when you're in rehab, it's not 30 days and they get you from drinking. You going to school, motherfucker. Like that, I'm saying. I go in there, you got 9 assignments to complete before you leave here. So they taught me about addiction. They taught me about how the brain works. Taught me about all the drugs. We studied the guy that, I forgot the name, the guy, Norman, the guy who invented LSD and all of that. So I had to complete these 9 assignments to be able to leave and stuff. I completed mine in 2 weeks, but that's just from being a good student. So after that intake room, they're going to say, you go in their room and it's alcoholics, meth addicts, sex addicts, gambling addicts, people who've been abused, and everybody was you're all in one. You start the day in the community because they're showing you're not alone. But we all got different situations, but it's all the same thing. So you start the morning together, you do breakfast, start the morning, then you break off. The alcoholics go to their group, this and that. So I go to my first therapy session. I'm sitting there with the therapist. Comes in, he got the clipboard, the long white cloak and everything, and he sits down. I'm 35 years old. He's about maybe 45, 46, something like that. So he's sitting there, and let me hold your book. He's doing, the therapist thing with the cloak on and stuff like that. So he says, Darryl, he says, Darryl, during your career at Run-DMC, did anybody ever do anything to make you mad? That was the first question he gave me. So I'm sitting there, whatever I got to go through. I go confidently, no. He goes with his glasses on. You know how they give you that look. Puts his pad down, stands up, takes his glasses off, and he starts unbuttoning his cloak. So I'm like, what the fuck? He's going to kick my ass. I'm like, what's going on? He takes his clothes off, and I remember he had on it wasn't AC/DC. Might have been Foreigner, a Journey or something like that. And he did just to break the ice. He did that, and he sat. Because first he's sitting like this. He's doing the interview. In the first, Darryl, did anybody ever do, with your career around DMC, did anybody ever do anything to make you mad? And I go, no. And he pulls a chair up to me, looks me in my eyes and he says this to me. You're a goddamn motherfucking liar. And when he said that, Don, now it's 2004, right? I'm an alcoholic. So, yeah, man, in 1983 when I was at Profile Red, and I remember Run did this and Russell did, and I was in this room one time and this guy came in and said they're going to take the deal. Like, I started belting out all of this evil, cheating, you know, the quote, the music business is the low-life, backstabbing motherfucker, and that's just the good part of it. I started belting out. Every time I saw something that offended me. He said, you have suppressed emotions because you never spoke up about it. And I said, what are you talking about? Then he asked me this, did Run and Jay ever argue? Run and Jay argued all the time, and it was healthy arguments. Run argued to death about Jay, about records. I would sit there. I want Run to like me. I don't want to be the troublemaker. And I would let shit fly over because all I had to do, but I had so many opinions where I passed up. Like, there was times when I said, I don't want to do this record, but I did it to make Run and Jay happy. He said, D, that's not healthy. Every time you did that, did you reach for a bottle? Yes. You should have been like, no, motherfuckers, I ain't do this. I quit. And he said, what's the worst that can happen? Either they let you quit or they call you back up and compromise with you. Okay, D, you can do it your way. So I was diagnosed with suppressed emotions because I was lying up. He said, from now, you're going to love this too. From now on, when you get out of here, Darryl, your truth. He said, there's a selfishness, not, I don't want to share with you, I don't want to break bread with you, I don't want to give you my phone. He said, selfishness is important for your survival. You got to put your self first in this way. Is this something I want to do for real? Do I like the people I'm doing with it? And this and that. Don't fucking compromise your fucking existence because it's going to take. He said, from now on, tell the truth. And I said, okay. That's what the keeping it real thing is. But when he asked me that, did you run into? And then I said, Run and Jay argued all the time. Run argued with Jay. Remember when we did the Down with the King record and Jay had verses?
Mm-hmm.
He had verses on the EPMD. Run was like, what the fuck you doing? You're just a D. Like, they argued, and then Jay won because he was on the records. But stuff like that, me, I would never, all right, fuck it, I'm just doing what I do and I'm sitting in the corner. But that was the thing that made it worse for me to make me drink because now I'm thinking that drinking is working, but it was destroying me. So your truth, no matter how effed up it is nothing to be ashamed of because it's your truth.
I have a question through going through all of this. What is your relationship with your faith, with God? Going through all these years, do you have a connection spiritually? Is your religion strong? Is your
I'm
faith
not religious. I don't like to term to separating labels in religion.
I agree with you, but
a lot of it's parallel though.
Do you believe though there is a greater power wherever it's coming from that is
100%.
that's in control of what's happening?
Yeah, 100%. But like we say in rehab, I depend on my higher power. I turn to my higher power when it's time. The thing that keeps me, I don't have to go to AA meetings because I realized something. And this is some Tony Stark stuff. We recite this thing, my higher power. I turn to my higher power like it's out here. But if it's my higher power, then it's mine. So if it's mine, then that means I got it. So who is the higher power? I tell every kid, not your teacher, not your mother and father, not the gangbanger, not the coach. The only person that can keep you from getting what you thought the only person that can make your dream not come true is the person in the motherfucking mirror. And when you realize you have everything, I don't care how homeless you are, I don't care how much you've been abused, that's why there's therapy to make you discover what's already yours. We go out, what's the alchemist? We go out looking all in the world, and the whole time the shit was right under your front porch. So you are your higher power. And the whole, to know that is, you got to understand yourself. And once you understand this, I am fucked up. But it's nothing to be ashamed because everybody else is. A lot of people is fronting though.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, you okay? Like, you see it at work. How you doing today? I'm okay. But you don't know what just happened. So now, with the kids, like when I go see the kids and stuff, yo, what's up, Mr. D? Because I'm missing because I'm 60 now. If I was, 20, I'd be DMC, yo, what's up? When I go sit down with the kids and me and Sheila go see foster kids or whatever, we go, how you doing today? And they do that, I'm all right.
Yeah. No eye
We do
contact.
this.
Yeah.
Even if they're looking at you. And then they connect with you because they said, you really care about me. And then they start doing stuff like this. The tough ones go, yo, it's okay to cry. I said, motherfucker, I cried my eye. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then they realize those things are powerful. So for me, it was like, what did Aunt May tell? I love superheroes, especially Spider-Man, because Spider-Man's from Queens.
And
when I found out Spider-Man's from Queens, that shit wasn't make-believe to me.
And a Met fan. Spider-Man.
Yeah, and a Met fan. Half America's from Brooklyn. Understand? But what did Aunt May tells Peter and Spider-Man 2, I think it was, with great responsibility, with great power comes great responsibility. So for me, my thing was, if I'm powerful telling you how many Adidas I got, if I'm powerful telling you the unbelieving receiving prophecy so true, I'll cut the head off the devil and I'll throw it at you. Like Nas and everybody, man, what the fuck made you? That's so fucking mean. I cut the head, not cut your head off. Cut the head off the devil and throw that shit at you. Should you hit you? Be like, what the fuck? I ain't fucking with this dude. You know what I'm saying? So even you wrote that, you drew the house with the cloud on it and stuff like that. But you had to say, this is where I'm at, but this is not where I'm have to stay at. Some people
you have
stay
said
there.
You have said something, and I've heard it a few times, and I use it. I've plagiarized it, and I use it as my own now. Where you say
everything's plagiarized.
Where you said, "That is what I do. That is not who I am." Yeah, you say it all the time. That is what I do, and that's not who I am.
Exactly.
And once I was able to separate myself from this caked on, this persona I was trying to become, that's what I do. That's not what I am. That's why now I'm sitting here and I got a podcast now. And in a year, I might ask you to come on and talk about the new book I got coming out.
Exactly, yeah.
And I watch you, cookies, children's books,
comic books,
an album with Mick Mars and Duff McKagan.
Oh my God, I'm a little black kid that wanted to be Freddie Mercury who couldn't sing.
Right.
And the other problem, I don't have a band, but this thing called hip hop comes over the bridge to allow my rock and roll dream to come true. I start calling myself the king of rock because that's what you do in your imagination. What did Albert Einstein say? And the kids go, yeah, we know that. He's smart. He said imagination is more important than knowledge. He didn't say knowledge wasn't important. He said imagination is more important because if you put knowledge with it. Look at me. I'm the king of rock. I'm fucking joking, was I? When I walk in a room, I'm around Sebastian Bach and Duff and Travis, and they go, what's up, king? And I say in my head to them, I was just joking.
Yeah,
but the universe said, no, you
manifested that shit.
You're the fucking king.
Yeah, you're the king of rock.
Gene Simmons hates me. Not only am I a rapper that's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I don't play shit, but I'm running around bragging I'm the king of rock, and all the rock dudes love me for it. You know what I'm saying? How crazy is that? But at the same time, though, I'm the king of rock, microphone master, devastating mic controller. With all that power, the cool thing is, I'm fucking OCD. I'm fucking alcoholic. I'm adopted. And I remember my therapist, once I got out of rehab, and I'm working with the people, with the foster kids. So I'm meeting with this therapist lady, and I'm coming in with this attitude that I'm different. I'm adopted, because I forgot what I said. I said something like, I'm different from everybody else because I'm adopted. And this other therapist lady said, hold on, slow down. She said, what makes you so different? Because, Run got his biological mother, Jay got his biological parent. She said, what makes you so different? Because I'm a foster kid and I'm adopted. She hit me with this. She said, okay, let me show you. She says, you sleep like everybody else, right? you piss and shit like ever, you eat like it. So what makes you said, you're not different from everybody. Your situation and how you became and got where you are is different from everybody, but you're no different. So what I wanted to say earlier was, it was my birth mother job to get me here. Here I am. But it was Baffin and Banner's job to get me where I was supposed to go. So in that journey, even if you feel lost and stuff like that, there's people put on this earth who are not your blood, whose responsibility, they might not even know it yet, but it's their job also to get you where you supposed to go. They're thinking they're going through one thing. So one kid had asked me, there was this mother who brought a kid to hear me speak about my book at Barnes & Noble. And her son was meth, falling off the rag and in and out of rehab and all that. So she brings him to hear me speak about my 10 ways not to commit suicide book. So he's probably 22 or whatever. So the whole time Barnes said, he don't want to be there. He's like this with me. And I'm talking, but every time I look at him, he's looking at me, but he's like this. Heard this in rehab. I read all the books.
Same shit.
Same shit. And so he's hearing it. So at the end, he comes up to me, and his mother had told me he plays the guitar and he wants to be in a metal band, and he keeps failing. So, you know, he's drowning in sorrow. So he comes up to me and says, DMC, tell me one thing. Why should I stay alive? I'm not a priest. So, but something in me said, he was probably expecting me to say, because you play the guitar so good, this and that. Now, but my brain said, motherfucker, you might not never get to be Ozzy. Labels don't care about you. I thought all of that. But just the answer that came out of my mouth. Why should you stay alive? And your whole fucked up thing, you're struggling, this and that. I said, because your story could save a life. His whole demeanor changed. And he left, and I'm in and out of Cleveland often and see the lady. How's your son doing? He's doing fine. He even started giving kids guitar lessons. Him and his band are doing the local van. He found his life. You're not going to be Ozzy, but you still could play that guitar, and you can share your gift with the other kids. Because your story, now you can go and say, yeah, I never got a chance to fucking be the guitar player for Guns N' Roses. Why? Because I was on meth, this and that. He realized me sharing that, saving them people that's in that room that's listening to him. So for me, yeah, you had to say, D got some cool rhymes and we like his Adidas, but why? So you can see me years later when you think you're struggling, motherfucker, me too.
Yeah, nobody's saying that though on social media. Very few people get up and say,
I know you got to search.
You got to look for it. Yeah, that energy is, I'll get on and I'll go,
right.
This shit ain't easy, man, and I don't feel good, and I'm worn out, and it resonates though. The people, the tribe that resonates will find you, and they'll message you and go, yo, me too, man, me too, brother,
for sure.
Yeah, and you find each other because how many dudes you want to look at standing in front of the private jet or showing you their fucking APY,
and they don't admit it.
No.
They so busy trying to show you that
floss and whatever they're doing. Yeah. And they're just numbing.
Yep.
There's a giant, listen, I feel there's a hole in all of us.
100%.
Some of us are lucky enough as this time on this planet goes, we are able to fill it as much as possible. Right. Some people don't ever. They fill it with.
Then you got to fill it and then give some of it away too.
Without a doubt. Without 100%. A doubt.
Because think about it. You're doing cakes.
Yeah.
The same way you said, D, I was 41 and I'm doing cakes and now it's working.
Yeah.
Was the same to me. I was just writing rhymes in my basement and now I'm on stage at Live fucking Aid.
I mean.
With people going, y'all shouldn't be here. The stage people was like, where's the band at laughing at us? But when we finished doing King of Rock, and it was like, yo, could you go do that again? So don't be ashamed if y'all tell kids, you know, kids used to tell me, D, you into that corny make-believe superhero stuff. And I'm crying after they done threw my book bag over the fence, and you goddamn right I am. You know, but it's fucked up being in this universe, and that was my relief. But now I got my own comic book company. You know what I'm saying? Chris Rock wrote in Rolling Stone magazine, Run and Jay were cool, but DMC was like my superhero, the way he looked and sounded, and the way he saw
Yeah.
the thing that made the DMC.
We all well, everybody, when you have a favorite band, you resonate with one of the members of the band.
The guy with the glasses.
Yeah, Ace Frehley. That's my Peter Criss. You know, you watched Kiss and you went,
Yep.
That's my guy, man.
You have your guy.
You
You got your Run guys. There's a crazy thing. You had the Run guy and the J guy, but there's people like Funkmaster Flex and DJ Premier would tell me and Run, get the fuck out the way so I can see Jay.
Yeah, I want to watch Jay.
Me, run, baby, DMC. Motherfucker, I don't want to hear you, D. You good. Get the I want to see that, dude. But
and
there's always someone and something for you.
And
that's what's
not
crazy.
On purpose and not formulated and not anything, but just think about the correlation between the Jack Kirby illustration on the Marvel comic and you and Run
B-boy stance.
With the goose down, with the fur,
Super
the Kango,
yep.
the gazelles. I mean, you had the belt buckle. It was your uniform.
Our outfit. Yes,
you were the Avengers.
Yes.
You were the Hollis Queens Avengers.
When we first saw you, were one of the artists. You actually made the comic book pages come out and come to life on my walls and my streets. Y'all made that all of that shit. It's who we are. Everything that we've done creatively. Creation. What's my thing? We succeed. You doing what your art and even your cake style. The poet, the rapper, the storyteller, the sculptor, the creative people. We succeed. Art succeeds where politics and religion fails. And let me prove it to you. Go to a concert. People from all walks of life, Republicans, Muslims. Nobody's in there claiming, I forgot what artist just said this, but a great musician said, you used to be able to tell somebody who you voted for, and it was no evil anger and who you voted? Oh, cool, I did that. Cool, it's what we did. But go to a concert. Now that I got my cookies, I'm at these food festivals, and it's just like it's Italy, it's Asia, and here's the one that brings it all around. Go to something with you. There's the Asian, there's the black writer, but go to the museum. Let's go to the museum right now, in the Museum of Natural History, or people from all walks coming. No, I hate you because you're Republican. And even with, like, when you look at religion, this would bug me out about religion. When you say you got Christian religion, you got Episcopalian, you got Baptist. Everybody's it's all the same thing. Now, I don't mind you saying what your affiliation is, but yours doesn't make mine's less than yours, and vice versa. Because we just people, and it's the same thing that you do with your cake is the same way I sit and say, let me write this next song. Creation. So, are we created in God's image? Yeah, because we have the power to create.
I agree, brother. I'm listen. Art saved my life. Man.
Yeah,
I was given a gift very young, very very little. I could create with a crayon, a marker, a spray can, clay, paint
figures. That started with stick
cake. Now we're creating content here, man. Creation for me has saved my life. That I was given a gift very young, and I'm able to now, as an adult, earn a living with it, which most people.
No, that's the other thing. Your story is also part of your bank account. Share it.
Yes, and it's motivation.
I've been to war, but then we'll make a movie about it. It's emotional. It's true.
I go talk to these young kids, right? They'll bring me into like an art class. Come talk to the art class. So I go in and they look at me like,
yeah, of course.
Okay, whatever, cake guy, whatever. And I go, who in this room has an idea for a business? So now they go, somebody has something that they want to create. I want to invest. Lay it on me. Tell me. So I get this one kid. I said, what is your business? He goes, I buy sneakers and then I resell them on eBay. Okay, I dig it, man. I like your hustle. Yeah. What's the name of the business? He tells me the name of the business. I said, you got a logo for your business? He goes, no. I go, okay. Who in the room creates logos? So this other kid goes, me, I go, he's going to give you a pair of sneakers in your size. You're going to create him a logo. Who in the room designs websites?
Yeah.
I said, he's going to give you a pair of sneakers. You can design a website. I said, by tomorrow morning, you got a full-blown business.
I
man.
tell him, see, I go in there. I said, in this room is $1 billion company. Who wants to rap? He's a rapper. They said, how many of y'all can rap? Oh, the hands go, okay, let him be the first rapper. Is anybody in here good with numbers? You're going to be the accountant. You're going to be the manager. You're going to be you got your company right here. I said, your Instagram isn't to show that you met Shaq. Your Instagram, if you're an actor, every box is a whole TV
that's your
show
website.
that Netflix will say, get that kid.
That's your website. That's your website. But nobody's giving that. Nobody's giving that encouragement.
Right.
They're getting. Where are you going to go? You got to go to school. You got to get a job.
Ask,
you got to get a pension. You got to get. You got to do this. No. I mean, listen. I have friends, and I'm sure you still have friends.
100%.
The fluorescent lights in the cubicle is sucking their soul.
Yeah.
Years. They show up to this job. They're sitting in this office. They go get a cup of coffee. They're on the phone. But
they have an idea that can transform.
But they're stuck.
The business
they're stuck, and they've been told.
Right, you have to do it this way.
That ain't gonna work.
Rick Rubin did say, make sure you can eat and pay your bills.
Yes.
But focus on the thing the way you want to do
Rick
it.
Rubin,
I love his book.
Says if the idea keeps coming to your mind, there is a reason, and if you don't act on it, sooner or later, the universe is gonna send it to somebody else's mind.
Right.
It's gonna realize you ain't gonna do anything with it, so we're gonna We're gonna send it to somebody else,
and they're gonna do it regardless of what it takes.
How many?
You had fucking bills coming in. What the fuck am I doing?
I could have went back. I could have went back and said, "This ain't gonna work." You know, we're hiding. We're hiding.
Well, let me. It was something that we focus on. What I always tell the young kids: Run-DMC, our first year was free shows. Just give us 20 minutes. It wasn't about the money.
Yeah.
Just give us 20. That 20 minutes made them say, "We're gonna come back next week. Now we're gonna give you 1,500."
Yeah.
We got told no, we're not gonna play you. I tell kids, y'all got a good hip hop's on the radio all day. It was just Friday for us. Friday and Saturday night was the only time you could hear it. So they no, and it's crazy. Run-DMC got turned down for every label except Profile Records was the one that said yes. We got turned down 49 times. We get to meet with Profile. I could have said, nah, we ain't going because I got turned down. But we went to Profile and said, yo, this is different. We'll take a chance with it. So the way you take a chance with yours, I always tell people, I don't want the 50 million people that brought Eminem. I would like to have them. But when I set out, I don't want to just fit into it. I want the 50 million that didn't buy him. So when the 50 million that didn't buy him, the 50 million already brought him. So this must be something. Because you are that without having people acknowledge that for you.
The amount of people that told me there's 2.5 million podcasts right now. What are you gonna go waste your time? Nobody's gonna listen to it. And I said, you're the same dude who told me I couldn't make cakes when I was 41, man.
There's no way anybody in hip hop wants to hear a guy with glasses rhyme about chicken and collard greens in St. John's University. But it's funny that you say that. The reason why I was confident to do that was Kool Moe Dee. When he was a member of the Treacherous Tree, not in his LL battle years. Kool Moe Dee, it's a great way to end too. Kool Moe Dee, oh, that's how time right there? Okay, cool. Kool Moe Dee, the reason why when Run passed me the mic, Run just told me this. He wrote we did It's Like That together, which was a message record. You know, at the time, hip hop was, you got to have a record with good content, and then you brag about how good your rhymes is. So the Run-DMC first entity was Run and DMC together on It's Like That. But the B-side, remember, just single, was Run, because he's, it's DJ Run, doing this record called Circumcised. Run believed in me so much that he was like, D, go in there and say a rhyme. I was like, I didn't write a rhyme for Circumcised. You know how Run is. Motherfucker, just go say your newest rhyme. My newest rhyme was a rhyme I wrote for me about getting accepted to St. John's University. So I went there and said it. But the thing that when Run passed that mic to me, I didn't do Suck MC, you're a clown. I talked about me. I'm DMC in the place to be. So the reason why I did that was Moe Dee, when he was a member of the Treacherous 3, this is very inspirational. They had a song called Yes We Can, where they sampled the Pointer Sisters. I know we can make it. I know that we can. I know darn well that we can work it out. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And the beat was doo-ba-doo-ba-doom-doom-doo-doo. So Mo D and them did this record called Yes, We Can. And this is a message to everybody listening. So I'm a little Catholic school kid, Hollis, Queens, New York. I don't live in the Bronx. I'm not in a gang. No heroin around my house. I got the best parents ever, and this and that. I read comic books. Just hearing, yes, you can. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. So if I ever get to rap on the mic, I'm not gonna be ashamed to be there. So Kumo D and them, they do this record called Yes We Can. Now, first of all, Grandmaster Caz of the legendary Cold Crush Brothers, the greatest quote is, hip hop didn't invent anything, it reinvented everything. So let's back up before I talk about Mo and them. The Pointer Sisters did this record to inspire our mothers and fathers. Yes, we can. Civil rights, struggle, poverty, war, this and that. So that's what art does, right? So Mo D and them take the record to speak to their generation, to speak to all of us. So the record opens up. Evil destruction, tax deduction, price inflation rocks the nation, and unemployment is on the rise. It's hard to find a compromise, but if it lasts like this for a long enough time, won't lead to nothing but a higher level of crime. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Now, those words, this is 1984. That opening can go on CNN, Fox, right now. And your mother, your grandfather, me, the little kids, the new kids, the mumble rap generation will all identify with that. But here's this group of young men, not politicians, not educated, from the fucking Bronx and Harlem that's burning. They say that. So then, like a Run-DMC record, they rhyme together. Then your favorite part comes when your favorite rappers break off for their solo lines. So if you listen to the first 5, they rhyme together the whole record, but now Melly Mel's gonna say a rhyme, and now that's my favorite. So now Mo D, Special K, and LA Sunshine switch off to say their rhymes. And Mo D opens up with this. He goes, once a nobody from the neighborhood, I took a hop to the top because I knew that I would excel over the rest. Because I make progress, I don't consider it luck because I'm not blessed. I got my life all together, love the way that I live, go to school, know I'm cool, and I think positive because it's a right to have fun. Jets, plane, lots of pleasures and joy, but it's a brain that separates the men from the boys. I was like, oh my God. And it was a known fact Mo was in school at the time. It's no fact Mo never got high at the time. So he came in front of all the drug dealers and the athletes and said, once a nobody, because he wasn't, but go to school, know I'm cool. I don't need your validation. But then he said, it's a right to have fun. You know, we want a nice car, a nice house, lots of pleasures and joy, but it's a brain that's separate. That's why I said, I can rhyme about school now. So when I rhyme, I got so many people that said when they saw me with the glasses, yeah, I'm fucking 4 eyes, you're goddamn right, but I'm rocking this mic better than all you motherfuckers with 20/20 vision. So your weakness, what I discovered doing my book and what I discovered in this mental health age, your weakness is actually your strength. You know this, all superheroes come from traumatic situations. All of them. Look at the Punisher.
I mean, look at Batman.
Look
Watch his parents
murdered. Murdered in front of him.
Watch his parents get murdered. I mean,
look at Captain. I relate to Captain America. It was one of my favorite books to read and draw. But what happened to Captain America is me in hip hop right now. You're gonna love this. Remember, Captain America was living. He got the super serum, but then he got frozen. And then when he woke up, the world changed. But he won't change who he is to fit in.
Yeah, his values are the same.
So me, I've been around, fortunate. I didn't OD. I'm not in jail, and I didn't fucking get killed. So, you know, people laugh. I said, me and Run, we've been through the Melly Mel era. We've been through the Run-DMC era. We've been through the NWA era. Hold up, it don't end there.
No, that's halfway.
Hammer era. I've been through the Vanilla Ice era. I've been through the I'm still fucking here. So what keeps me going? What keeps me? A kid shouted out to me at a high school one day, DMC, you old school guys are over. I said, thank you. The whole gymnasium gets quiet. I'm Captain America. I know this is what they do in hip hop now, but I'm not going to change who I am just to get a bigger check. I got to work. I got to go. You can go get $500,000 right now as a rapper. But if I don't like the people, the intent of it, I will work 500,000 times for $1,000 to get that 500,000.
Yeah, your integrity is not for sale, my friend.
I gotta keep it real for me, for my survival too.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say, this kid screams out, "DMC, you old school rappers are over," and I go, "Thank you." What do you mean by that? And I said, "Thank you." And the kids, they scratching their head. And I said, yeah, because I was over in UK last week. I'm getting ready to go over to Singapore. You should have seen the whole gym erupt. And then one kid said, "Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm telling you, because Run-DMC was just in like, yeah, I'm over." But you're trying to say I don't exist? I'm right here. So when he said that, so that's the whole thing, that is the capacity of how I can sit here and relate to you about, man, not only did I want to quit, I wanted to end it all. But then you discover that, it's like a lot of people are afraid to go check the history. But your mother, who left you in the phone booth and you got found by the fire department, she had her own issues to do. But the fact that you're a survivor, now you can go back and further. You don't have to, your defining moment isn't, "I was left in the phone booth." Your defining moment is, let me go understand what my mom's was going through so I can communicate that for the kid that's about to be left in the phone booth. But that same kid can look at me and say, "You made it too?" Like, Shark Tank is wonderful. I love the whole Shark Tank thing. But now I'm looking at you and it's like, you got a cake business? And then you can say, "Yeah, but let me tell you what happened." You don't see. Jesse Jackson, rest in peace. This was about 30 years ago. We was at some event. It was early in the morning with educators and people like that. And Jesse Jackson, like me and you, every generation has the music that the older people can't connect with. But we already connected with it because that was our generation. So Jesse Jackson has said, MTV Cribs is cool. Jesse Jackson, he didn't say this was bad for the kids or whatever. And just like you said with Instagram just doesn't show what could be really powerful to them young kids. But Jesse Jackson said, MTV Cribs is cool, but it shows results and not process. You don't know how they got these men. And then I was hurt when I discovered, because of Redman keeping it real. You see his MTV Cribs episode?
Yeah.
He made MTV come to his real house.
Not the typical episode. Yeah, wreck.
Where he slept that he didn't, that's when I found out, they'll rent you a mansion to do the episode. And
rent your car.
Jesse Jackson said, MTV Cribs is cool, but it shows results, not process. I was like, wow. So you're a genius with cakes, but what did you do? You just told me you worked at a bakery.
Yeah, for 3 years to learn. I tell young kids this all the time. I say, I said,
crying in the car.
if you want something bad enough, take your phone. If you want to be a bracelet maker, right? Find the 10 best bracelet designers on Instagram near you. Inbox them. Say, "I will come work for you for free. Yep. If you will let me shadow you, I'll work for free. I will trade my time, which is my equity, for your knowledge, because I need your knowledge, and I can give you my help. I'll sweep, I'll answer the phone, but I want to learn, and I'll come for nothing." And then they go, "I'm not working for free.
I get that.
Work for free. I'm working for free."
Yes.
You're not working for free. You're getting the education, which is priceless. So I knew I'm going to open a bakery. I never worked in a bakery before.
Right.
I said, I got to go work in a bakery. I got to go figure it out. I worked in a bakery for 3 years, trying to figure it out, running through the college fund, running through the 401k, trying to keep was it selfish? Maybe, but if you don't take care of this, the people around you
get it right.
Right. So I needed
purpose.
I needed to do this. I needed to show my family, I'm going to make this work.
No, you had a purpose.
And now my young kids got to see this idea we had. Look.
It manifested.
It's here. Now my both daughters.
I tell the kids, I said, the day you thought of the thing that you wanted, it was yours.
That's it.
Are you willing to go through? I said, I'll be in an auditorium. I said, for me to leave this room and get into the lobby there, what I got to do? You got to go through the doors. You got to go through to get to.
Yeah.
Sometimes going through is easy.
Sometimes the door is smaller than you.
Yes.
You got to force your fucking way through the door.
That shit out, and then, damn, I'm not going to get out of here until I lose some weight or whatever it is. But then you can always get through. Is the point. But
sometimes the weight you need to lose is the crew you hanging with. Sometimes the weight you need to lose is the brother telling you can't fucking do it. Sometimes the weight is your childhood trauma. Whatever that weight you need to lose. I just want to.
My missing part of my identity was the heavy part. That the void in me was the fact that I wasn't adopted.
Yeah.
And the thing that convinced me to do the search was a famous adoptee, not celebrity famous to all of us. She said this, and this goes to you with your book and going this. Your aunt picking up. Yeah. When I was in when I was speaking with Sheila, when I met Sheila after our dinner, I forgot to add this. She goes, oh, by the way, once a month, we have an Adoption Anonymous meeting. And I go, what's that? She says, well, once a month, because Sheila's clients is John Travolta, Mark Wahlberg. You want to know what shows she did? Sopranos and Entourage.
Right.
So that's what Sheila.
Yeah. Heavy.
So heavy.
She's rolling
in
heavy.
L.A., but she's adopted like me, right? She's adopted casting director in Hollywood, heavy hitter. I'm the adopted rapper. But she said this to me. She said, "Oh, once a week, we have Adoption Anonymous meeting." What's that? She goes, once a week, Mark Wahlberg. Shout out to my man Mark Wahlberg. Thank you, Mark. You saved my life. She says, once a week, Mark Wahlberg gets us the keys to his offices in Santa Monica. And a bunch of us adoptees go in there and we just sit. And I said, what do you do? We just sit there and talk. So it's the adoptive Hollywood casting director, the adoptive rapper, the adoptive UPS driver, the adoptive teacher, the adoptive lady from Vietnam who will never find her parents. Right. But she can come to this meeting. She's adopted. She got all these issues. And she could cry and curse the world and then say, I'll see you next week. She can be that. So we in this meeting 4 times in a row. By the 5th one, they hit me with this. D, don't you want to find your birth parents? No, I don't want to do this. You heard the records, this and that, So the 6th one, they go, D, there's a way you can find your birth parents. We know a private eye who was adopted that started a private eye agency to help specifically adoptees find their parents, this and that. So, they telling me, oh, that's a good thing. She found a purpose. She became a private eye because when she was looking before Ancestry and before the internet, there was no way. So she said, you know what? She went into private eye courses, got Lightly and all that to specifically help you find yours. So that's what she do. So I'm still not so. So then an adoptive lady from London tells me, D, you want to know why you should find your birth parents? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. You heard the records, Byford and Bannon, this and that. She hit me with this. A famous adoptee who's not celebrity famous said this. The reason why an adoptee should, besides medical. Now, the reason why I should is when I was filling out job applications growing up for CYO and Block Association, my father was diabetic, so I was right there, but that's not.
Right, your medical history is not that.
But I would always go off of this because they didn't tell me till I was 35. So she says this, the reason why an adoptee should, and the should is important, you don't have to. A lot of my adoptee friends says, I don't want to know. She said, Ray Liotta, rest in peace. Sheila introduced me to Ray Liotta, became my friend. Like me and I go to LA, Ray show up, we go over his house and stuff like that. So Ray Liotta was convinced by Sheila to go find his adopted parent. So he goes and does it and finds him fairly quickly, comes back and says, yo, it was a wonderful experience. I'm glad I know. But then he says, I'm glad I was adopted. And I love him, but it ain't like you have to take that. So I'm there. I'm like, no, I'm going to bite for the bed. And she says, the reason why an adoptee should, besides medical, I go, why? She hit me with this. You never start a book from chapter 2. So here's what happened to me. I'm living the chapters of my life all the way up till down with the king. I'm about to return because hip hop changed in the 90s. The universe is saying, you're going to be part of this, but there's something you don't know about yourself. Gives me that void. When I found the adoption piece, that's the missing piece. The reason why I got depressed, what the fuck is this? What is P-Rock doing to me? You never start a book from chapter 2. When I rhyme, I'm from Hollis. That was chapter 2 of my book. I didn't know there was a whole chapter 1. So I had to get sober. Why? In order to succeed, you got to be what's the saying? Sound mind and body first. So I was working out. I'm working out, but I'm fucking still drinking. In order for me to really receive it, strength is not physical only. You got to be of sound mind in order for the physical to work right. I wasn't of sound mind. But when I went and got sober, sound mind, what happened? My voice came back. I'm working out, I'm looking good, but I'm a depressed, alcoholic, suicidal, metaphysical wreck who's afraid of my truth, that's emotionally fucking me up. You think all of the Adidas and the gold chain is your identity. No, you're not, motherfucker. Your real identity, you fucked up forced the alcoholic kid. So when you think about it with the superheroes, same thing for them. Look at the Punisher. I mean, he goes to have extreme measures, but has a purpose. He was trying, you killed my fucking wife and kids, you piece of shit. And I was just watching this show where they said, humanity is inside of all of us. The Punisher's take is for motherfucker to do that shit, there's no humanity, so I'm going to do something.
That's why we all love John Wick so much. Yeah. They take his car and they kill his dog. You took his car. I mean, you killed his dog.
Look, you have my money.
You all got to die. Ranch. Everybody's got to die now. You took his car and you killed his dog. Everybody's got to die.
But the point I'm trying to make is that eagerness is the thing that kept you going.
Yeah.
You had it and you used it right.
I'm still using it.
I went and said, okay, with the same energy that I want to get high I'm going to use it not to get high. And it takes you to where you go.
It took me till I was in my I was paralyzed for a lot of years, man, by 100%. Fear, insecurity, anxiety. I mean, panic attacks, sweating in the middle of the night. Like, I was paralyzed for a long time, and I refused to even pay attention to it. I was,
So here's my last question for you.
Yeah.
And then I know it's true because you're here with me. Did you quit?
No, but I got close, man. There was some days where there was some days where I was close, man. I was there. I'll tell you a quick story, and then I got one for you, and we'll end. I did a cake delivery one day, right? And I really have not told. There's only a couple people on the planet know this story. I did a cake delivery. The back of the building was facing the Long Island Railroad. Okay, where I delivered the cake. I came out, my car's parked. I sat in the car, and my account's overdrawn. I can't make payroll. I mean, we're in it. I'm fully in this shit. I'm delivering the cake, and I'm going. My kid's college money's gone. I'm looking at this going, and I'm watching this train, right? Long Island Railroad, and the New York subway to me is very significant because I rode the 7 train. I would take this bus to Main Street, Flush, and I would take the 7 train to the city as a kid. And we were able to do graffiti. We were able to do graffiti, and they didn't wash it. I mean, the inside.
Never. I took the 7 train to Rice High School every day.
It was covered, right? So I'm watching this train.
7, yes, legendary.
I'm watching this train, right? This Long Island Railroad train go by. And I'm not ashamed to talk about it. I started to tell myself, the people in your life will be better off if you're not on this planet anymore, man. You are putting everybody in harm's way with this. And maybe these people will be better off. Right.
Because they ain't got to go through what you're doing.
I'm just going to end it. Hope maybe, whatever goes after that. But they probably will be better off. So I'm watching this train, D. I sat for 2 hours and I watched the train go by, thinking to myself, all right, the next one. You just get out of the car and you go walk in front of this train. And you know what stopped me? My confidence was at such an all-time low, right? Because I was not succeeding at
You
anything.
thought you might not die.
I said, you're not even going to be able to pull this shit
I
off.
love that, yes.
You're not even, you're going to walk in front of this train, asshole, and you're going to have to look at your family walk in the hospital room.
Yes.
And they're going to look at you and go, you couldn't even do this shit. Right.
I knew you was going to say
You
that.
couldn't even pull it off. You failing here. You can't
Failing
even
here,
jump in
can't
front of
even
a train, right? And I shook it off. Thank God. And I
Right.
realized I am, as long as I am in service of the people around me and myself, I'm going to get through this shit. We're going to figure it out, man. If I got to borrow a couple bucks this month or whatever it is,
giving these cakes.
I'm going to get through it because this is the only thing, this art and these cake and that has ever filled this hole I got in me, man. It makes me feel whole. And I decided I'm going to stay.
You can't quit.
No, most people don't
was
tell
part
that
of
story
it.
because I think more people have thought about it than will admit it. Have thought about
100%.
taking their life or
Especially if it's craziness.
Oh, it was
Because you don't have to keep up with it. You don't have to, but you should.
I got one quick thing and a question.
Yeah.
I grew up at 150th and Willets Point, okay? Right up Francis Lewis Boulevard. You take Francis Lewis Boulevard to the end, you hit Hillside Avenue.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm minutes from Ground Zero, Run-DMC, LL,
Right.
Salt and Pepper. I'm going to Holy Cross High School, okay?
Holy Cross.
Holy Cross
yeah.
High School on Francis Lewis Boulevard. This is 82, 83, right?
Wow.
Rap music is not like
No,
It's-
right. You knew about it.
I'm a white kid. I'm a white kid from Whitestone, okay? I go to Holy Cross High School. Now the thing with Holy Cross, we drew kids from all over because it was all boys Catholic. They wanted to play basketball, football.
I know. I went to Rice. All
Howard
boys,
Beach,
yep.
Ozone Park, Hollis, Jamaica. We brought kids from everywhere. There's a
Jamaica,
kid who came to school one morning, right? It was almost like a movie where the spotlight hit this kid. He walked in. You're going to be able to picture it right away. He's got a white leather goose down with the white fur on the collar. All right? White leather goose, white fur. I had never seen anything like this in my life, man.
Wow.
I was drawn to this kid and I said, yo, where did you get this coat? For some reason, I knew this coat was almost like the Grail. Like
Grail.
where did you get this coat? He goes,
To
Coliseum
Nancy
Mall. I got a Coliseum Mall in Jamaica. I said, okay, I know. I go home. I go, Mom, we got to go to Coliseum Mall. She's like, Coliseum Mall in Jamaica? Why? I need a winter coat. So now, okay, we go to Coliseum Mall.
What?
I get
For
the
real?
white leather goose with the white fur. Okay, now I'm a freshman, sophomore in high school.
That's crazy.
I walk into school with this white leather coat and the goose, my Lee jeans with the matching shirt. Like I was immediately part of a tribe. This tribe that didn't even, it was just rap music, graffiti, DJing. It was at its infancy stage. But I immediately,
Street culture
I
of
immediately
creatives.
felt like whatever that is, I knew it. I was in. This kid who's in Holy Cross High School with the white leather goose watching, and there was not even Yo MTV Raps yet. There was
not at all.
There was none of
We
that.
didn't have that shit in Queens. When it started, it was only in Manhattan.
I was starving to find, bits and pieces.
Right.
I end up friends with Darryl from Run-DMC. The universe is an insane place, my friend. The universe, the fact that we get to sit here right now and we tell stories about each other's lives and the paths we took, how you have, the lives you've changed my life just by being a friend. And I think to myself, who is the next person I'm going to meet? And I'm going to be able to tell them a story. And who the person you don't even know yet that's going to change your life, man.
Right.
And that's the stuff I tell these kids. That's
why you got to stay here, kid.
They
Don't
think
commit
they think there's no way out. There's no. And I
No.
go, you're going to meet one person that's going to change the whole trajectory of your life.
Because they don't
man.
understand the girl that betrayed you wasn't for
No,
you.
that was
She
not-
had to do that to get you better. They don't see that. No, she was my love, and then she went
Yeah.
with the football guy. Let
But
her.
that's all you know.
Let her. She's
That's-
getting less, but
Yes.
that's all you know,
That's
right?
all you know, man.
But that's so. Don't quit. I mean, it's harder to tell somebody that.
The
but
great,
we gotta show
the
'em.
great things that are created from heartbreak.
Yes.
The greatest music is created from heartbreak.
All of it.
Listen, I say it all the time. I love Pharrell, but Happy is not my theme. Like, it does not resonate with me. It's a great song. It made a lot of money.
Right.
I like the stuff that I Can't Make You Love Me by Bonnie Raitt. Like,
nice.
yeah, like you hear,
Yeah. The struggle.
Hallelujah. You hear these lyrics and you go,
struggle and,
oh
and-
my
and-
God.
and victory and trauma.
this is it. Last
right.
question for you. People in this position, the day I almost quit, they don't need a 5-year plan, a 10-year. What's your 5-year plan for yourself?
Yeah.
They need a 1-day plan. Somebody out there is listening right now. They heard what you said.
Mhm.
They just need to get to tomorrow morning. Just give me a little something for
Mhm.
somebody in the middle of it right now. They're in foreclosure on their
Right,
house, divorced, their kid is strung out, whatever, just to get, because that's, you feel like I can't even
Right.
get to tomorrow.
Right.
They need a 1-day plan, man.
Find that thing you like doing most and do it. That's heaven.
That's it.
That's heaven. All of this, let them take the house to this and that. Find the one thing that you like doing and do it. That's wealth. That's heaven. That's who you are. In the midst of your situation doesn't define who you are. I tell all the kids that. Find the one thing that you like doing and do it.
And that's it, my friend. Darryl, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
How good was that, man?
Well, it was really like,
yeah, this
because
was,
all truths are parallel. It's crazy.
yeah, man. You attract,
And
and similar energies attract
right,
each
yeah,
other.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's the dialogue that is the deliverer. Like you said, 5-day plan on us too much.
Yeah, I can't have a 5-day.
Let me talk about my hell. You're going through it right now.
Yeah.
And the one thing that you can do is find something that you like doing and make sure that's who you are.
Give me a 1-day plan, man.
That's who you are. Yeah.
All right, brother.
And then if you're doing it, right? For sure.